Passionate Living with Kat Miller is brought to you by Healthy Communities 2030. For more information, go to creatinghealthycommunities.org.
Welcome to Passionate Living. We have a great show for you this week. We'll be hearing some amazing insights from spiritual scholar and author Philip Goldberg about his new book, Spiritual Practice for Crazy Times. With the world events that have caused all of us to spend a bit more time at home these days, couples are oftentimes experiencing some added pressures that cause stress to their relationship. So we're going to jump on board the Passionate Living Time Machine, where I'll be sharing an interview with best-selling relationship authors Gay and Katie Hendricks. The wisdom that they shared with me during an interview in Beverly Hills, California is as timely and helpful today as it was back then. Next, we'll see how one man's passion for sports paraphernalia has turned into a legacy project that will inspire generations to come. John Putet takes us on the journey into the heart of Western New York sports history that will inspire viewers to use their passions to make a difference in the world around them. But first, I want to send out a special prayer to all of our viewers on the West Coast who are enduring a number of wildfires. This photo is from my soul sister Roseanne, who lives outside of San Francisco, California. To Roseanne and the millions of others who are affected by these fires, our prayers are with you. Now I'd like to share an interview that I did prior to COVID-19 social distancing with one of my favorite hairdressers on the planet. It's also this talented man that I have to thank for my new hairdo after waiting 6 months during this time of social distancing before I had a haircut. So grab a healthy snack or a beverage, sit back and enjoy this week's ride into Passionate Living. I'm here with Michael today at his salon, and I am so excited to do this.
Well, thank you very much, and we're excited to have you here.
How did you get into all this? This is a really, I mean, you walk from out in front, it looks, oh, it's a nice place, but you walk inside and it's gorgeous.
It is. A lot of people say it's a lot bigger inside than they see from outside. But I've been in hair business basically my whole life. I kind of grew up in the hair business. My father was a hairdresser, my brother's a hairdresser, my uncle was a hairdresser.
So you know, kind of were ensconced with us.
Kind of just kind of happened.
So what are you going to do to me today?
Today?
I'll take off my hat. My hair, I left it as is. It's a little messy. Just a little.
Well, what I think we need to do with your hair today.
Okay.
I know you like to keep it long.
I do, but I just had that major
side. I know
change.
you did tell me that you had a lot of
change. Took it up to there,
a big change, yeah.
Right.
So we won't change the length drastically, but a little bit, just to give it a new line and some soft layering to give it movement.
Okay.
And then I think a great idea would be to add a little kick with some highlights, something very natural, and I know you'll love it.
Okay.
It'll be beautiful.
I'm excited.
Great. So
my hair is in your hands.
Perfect.
Thank you very much for that. Before we go to our Passionate Living Time Machine segment for this week, where we share one of my favorite highlight interviews from the past, I'd like to share an update on Wildlife Way Station, which was aired a few episodes ago. Since our interview with Nina Blackwood in the early 2000s, Wildlife Way Station has since closed its doors due to funding issues. There were chimpanzees who were left at the facility after other animals were relocated, and they're in need of funds to support these refugees. For anyone wishing to learn more information about the Wildlife Way Station chimps or to help donate to this cause, go to wildlifewaystation.org/chimp-updates. Now for this week's Passionate Living Time Machine segment. We're in Beverly Hills, California. I meet with Gay and Katie Hendricks, who are best-selling relationship authors. And they're going to share a few potent tips that'll help you to bring more smiles and a lot more ease to your relationship. Hi, welcome to Passionate Living Moments. Wouldn't it be wonderful if all you ever needed to fix your relationship was a magic elixir? Well, we're here today at Elixir on Melrose Avenue, and they have all kinds of wonderful tonics to help to rejuvenate you, bring you energy, help to make you tired if you want to sleep, and they even have a Cupid's arrow here for relationships. But in case you don't think that's exactly what you need for your relationship, we're going to meet a wonderful couple today whose passion is bringing consciousness to relationships. And they can help us with a number of problems and difficulties that might otherwise be a challenge to us. So let's go meet Gay and Katie Hendricks. Hi guys, how you doing? Hi, it's great to see you again. What do you think? Is there a magic elixir you can drink that'll just heal everything in relationships?
Boy, wouldn't it be great if you could just swallow something and it would fix your relationship? But actually there are some magic elixirs in relationship, and they're very simple.
They're very simple. All you have to do is remember 2 or 3 things, and your relationship hums with great energy all the time.
Wow,
There's
that
some,
sounds
there's some
fabulous.
things not to do and some things to do.
So what are those 2 things you're not supposed to do in a relationship?
First, we want to show you what it looks like when people are doing the anti-elixir moves that really drain the energy from their relationship. I wanted to show you what blaming looks like. So I want to just point out to you that when we were standing around here, I noticed that you were really flirting a lot with Catherine, and I just...
Flirting?
Yeah, you were flirting with Catherine. I saw
we
you
were just
standing up
talking
close to
each
her,
other.
and
She's a friend of mine. Of
well,
course,
and I
wanted
know
to talk to her.
you made a comment about her dress, and
Well, it's a beautiful dress.
Well,
it's a lovely
yes,
dress.
but you
and
made
if I
it.
didn't make a comment about the dress, where would I be? You know, what kind of a guy would I be?
Well, so you're admitting that you were actually
So you
were
blame
flirting.
me. No matter, and then if I didn't say something about her dress later on, you'd complain that I wasn't.
No,
dressed.
if you would just admit that you were flirting.
So that's the way people drain energy out of relationships.
Gosh, guys, really? I'll change the dress, it's okay.
So it's amazing how much energy is really drained in blaming. And another thing that happens with blaming is that people withhold. They might have a judgment or a criticism, and they withhold it because they don't want to make waves in the relationship, or they don't want to...
Yep, and you see that happen so often. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been out, and you see the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me show you one we caught ourselves doing. Now, this is 20 years ago, but we really learned a lot from it. Kathleen came in one day from the grocery store with about 3 huge bags of groceries, okay? And so I'm looking through the groceries and I'm saying, gosh, here's soap, here's facial care product, here's $13.95 shampoo, here's this. Where's the food in here? You know, like there's $194 on the thing here, and there's no food. And I wanted that special kind of peanut butter I like, and you didn't.
Well, they were out of your peanut butter.
But you know what the problem was? The problem? It was that I hadn't told her something that was really important. That I was worried about us running out of money, and I hadn't said anything about her to it. And so later on, I started criticizing her for buying too much stuff that wasn't food.
You are both perfect candidates for this question, and I can't wait to get your feedback. But what is passionate living to you, Katie?
Gosh, passionate living to me is being so fully present in each moment that I can express my essence in the world, who I really am, and by my presence invite the essence of other people to be fully expressed.
It's beautiful. Well, Gay, you're up.
Passionate living to me is living in integrity inside, you know, like feeling my feelings, telling the truth, really honoring myself so that I can honor other people. Because when I'm in integrity with myself, I can see your essence more clearly. And when all of that's happening, that's passionate living.
Wow, what a perfect way to bring this episode of Passionate Living Moments to a close. Thank you both so much for joining us and bringing all of those wonderful insights into passionate relationship. Remember, until next time, live life to the fullest. And if you want
Hey, John. How are you?
How are you?
Great to see you.
Nice to see
My
you
friend
again.
Kat Miller.
Kat,
Hi, nice to
pleasure.
meet you, John.
Nice
How
to
are
meet
you?
you. I'm wonderful. Come
Thanks
on
for
in.
having
Thank
us
you.
tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Come on in.
So, John, I heard you have an amazing collection that I have to see.
Yeah, I have a pretty nice collection. A little small collection, but
a
it's
little
nice.
small collection.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
can't wait to see it.
Absolutely.
And this is your passion.
It is. It is. My
Wonderful.
passion is collecting in sports. So,
Right.
but I do have one thing that you have
Yes.
to do. You have to put the hat on because I'm going to make you an honorary member of the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
Okay.
All right.
There you
Now,
go.
back in my heyday, I used to sing all the sports songs for Buffalo. With Tommy Calandra, I used to sing "We're Gonna Win That Cup,"
Oh,
and I sang for the Bisons before every home game,
That's-
and that was my
that's
thing back
fantastic.
in college.
That's
so,
great. Who doesn't remember we're going to win that cup?
right.
Yeah, it's great.
It's one of my skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, I
should
guess.
say.
Yeah.
We need a new version.
Yeah,
That's right.
we need a new version of that.
Well, why don't we go downstairs and I'll
All
show you the
right.
collection.
Thank you so much, John. I really
Well done.
appreciate it. Wow, the hallway down is definitely amazing. Look at all of this stuff on the walls. This is amazing, John. Holy cow. This is another one of these moments where somebody tells me they have a little collection and then they've got like an entire museum in their This is extraordinary, John. Oh my
thank you.
God.
Thank you. It's just a little
Wow.
collection.
A little collection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy cow. Show me around a little bit.
Absolutely.
Tell me about this.
Yeah, come on in. This is
Now,
this
this-
is my
This Buffalo jersey
this
here.
is what the Bisons used to wear back
Right.
in the turn of the century. In the early 1900s, made
Uh-huh.
of wool, very hot.
Right.
So yeah, these are all original jerseys back from the turn
That's
of the century.
extraordinary.
Yeah, and we have things from War Memorial Stadium, turnstiles here from War Memorial
Oh,
Stadium.
is that a turnstile from War
Yeah,
Memorial?
that's an original turnstile.
Wow.
Fans used to walk through when they go into the Bills games and the Bisons
Wow.
games. And one of the players' lockers
That's so
from War
great.
Memorial Stadium.
Wow.
And
That was where I used to sing "We're Gonna Win
Oh,
That Cup" before
that-
the
that
last
was-
home game was in the
that was-
stadium. I
was
love
a
that
great
place.
place to play. The rock pile.
Boy, the rock pile.
Yeah, that was
Exactly.
a great place to play.
And I recognize these hockey little
Oh, these are
games.
the
I
rod
rem-
hockey games. Go
Yep.
Seymour, we'll play a game of rod hockey. This is rod hockey games, and every kid growing up in the 50s and 60s, this is what you used to do. You used to play at rod hockey,
Yep.
and the
I
puck
remember this.
the
yeah.
puck would come down.
Well, they had more modern versions
And
when
you
I
would play
was
rod
growing up,
hockey
yeah.
like this. You move your players up and down like this, and kids would play this for hours.
Pre-video
Like
games.
that. Pre-video games, and there's a goal right there. How about
All right,
that?
see?
Seymour wins 1-0.
His hockey roots are showing. John, how did you get into all this? Clearly you have a passion.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I when I was 5 years old, growing up in Kenmore, New York,
Right.
we started playing sports like all little
Uh-huh.
boys did. And my collection started by buying baseball cards.
Okay.
Running up to 7-Eleven with a nickel or a dime in your hand and
Mhm.
buying packs of baseball cards. And it kind of grew into all this from
This
that.
is absolutely astounding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I got to talk with your wife a little bit
Mhm.
on the way in.
Yeah.
And I love how supportive she is of
Oh.
your hobby. Because so many partnerships, the husband or the wife, become annoyed with their partner's hobby. But I love that she embraces that
Yeah,
with you. She really has become a part of it.
when we had plans to build this house,
Right.
that was one of her things that she said that
Mhm.
we had to make sure it had happened was a basement big enough to house the collection. So she was just as much a part of this as I
Wow.
was. Yeah,
That's
very
amazing.
supportive.
This should be a museum. so-
It is a museum.
It is
It's
a
the
museum.
Buffalo Sports
but-
Museum.
Yeah, there we go.
And that is a goal of ours. Like,
Right.
the goal of ours is to find a place, probably downtown, where people
the
can
public
enjoy
can
it.
come
The
in
public
and
can
enjoy
see it and
this.
enjoy it. And every person that comes down here, friends and family members and friends of friends,
Right.
media members come down here, ex-players come down here, and they
That's
just have a
wonderful.
great time walking
This is
around.
just so, I mean, you could spend days here just
Yeah.
exploring every aspect of this collection. It's remarkable.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
It's been a lifelong passion.
Wow, it shows.
This basement was just a regular
Wow.
old basement, and
Wow.
myself and two friends just spent the better part of 3 months putting up all the cases and
It's extraordinary.
everything. Yeah,
This is remarkable.
it's been a labor of love.
Wow. Now tell me a little bit about some of the things that are in this display case.
Sticks galore. I love hockey sticks. I
Still
love game
doing
use
your-
sticks. Yeah, You can see we have the French Connection sticks right there.
Wow,
Robert,
so these are,
Martin Perot.
and where there's a Gilles, there's a way.
Yeah, when there's
See,
a Gilles, there's a way. And Danny Gare. Danny Gare's
Right.
still in Western New York.
Right.
Everybody loves Danny Gare.
Right.
Roger Crozier. I have just about all of them. Jerry Korab and Tim
Wow.
Horton. We got a nice Tim Horton.
Oh, that's
Gave me a
great.
stick right over there.
So you need a We're Gonna Win That Cup 45.
I
in
have
here.
one.
You don't? Oh, you have
Oh,
one?
I do, yeah.
You have Donna's though, probably.
I have
you don't
Donna
have mine.
McDaniels. Yes, I have the
I
one
have
from
to get you mine.
I would love to have one from here.
You got a Cincinnati Swords jersey. That was our farm team.
I do. Yeah, 1971 to 1974.
That was the impetus of those teams for our cup team in 1974.
It sure was. Yeah, Cincinnati was a big part of Sabres history.
It sure was.
Can you guess whose jersey that is?
To tell you the truth, John, I'm clueless at the moment. I'm just overwhelmed to see it and see the logo
It is.
with the dagger, similar to what you have over here on the wall.
It belonged to Doug Rombo. Doug Rombo was a
God
great.
rest his soul. Doug was a great guy.
He sure was. He was a great member of that Cincinnati team and is a Buffalo Sabre as well.
Oh my gosh, here's like a jacket from The Natural,
It
which
is.
was shot right at the War Memorial Stadium in Buffalo.
It was in the summer of 1983. And
Right.
these jackets were actually made right here in Buffalo for the film down at the Broadway Knitting Mill
Okay.
at Marquardt's. And they had about 7 or 8 made.
Right.
And every time that one of them was needed for a shot, they would say, pass me one of the jackets. Let's put it on Redford. So these are
great.
the jackets that were worn in the
Wow.
film. And this is one of the jerseys.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, I have a great story back then.
Oh, sure.
Because I used, like I was saying, I used to sing for the sports teams back then. I was just, I think I was all of maybe 18, 19 years old
Yeah.
in college. And Robert Redford was at the stadium that
Yeah.
night. And Mike Maloney, who was the master of creating
P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum of Buffalo. And so Robert Redford was there, and I was singing this song before he came out to center field. My job was to hand him the mic after the song. So he came out, and I handed him the mic, and he said, "Good job, kid," and gave me a hug.
Oh
and I was
my
like,
gosh.
"Oh my gosh!" At like 18 years old,
Can
that
you
was such a
imagine?
big deal for me.
Oh, and
Yeah.
that must be a wonderful
That
memory.
was really
Yeah.
extraordinary.
The Natural was a great time in Buffalo.
Such a great movie.
And so many people in Buffalo were involved in the filming of the
Yeah.
movie, which was
Yeah.
even makes it even more Buffalo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
John, you have a book?
Yeah, we actually did a book for the collection. We just came out with it this past
Wow.
November. And it's been very positive reviews, and I'll show it to you.
Buffalo's Got the Spirit.
Buffalo's got the spirit. But this is all about collecting, all Buffalo sports collecting,
Wow.
from pennants to programs to newspapers and ticket
And how
stubs.
can people get this, John?
There's a couple ways. We're selling it right here in Buffalo at Cheektowaga at the Bases Loaded
All right.
Sports Collectibles on French Road.
Right.
Or it's also on my own website, buffalosgotthespirit.com, so they
Okay.
can get it that way too.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Well, gosh, thank you so much for showing me this
Absolutely.
today. I
So-
love it. This is such a joy.
A
and
pleasure. Thank you so much for
You're
coming.
welcome. And
Yeah.
I'm going to get you the 45. I'll sign it.
I love it. You got to sign it though. You have to sign it. Thank you.
Thank you
I
so much
appreciate
for
it.
this. I really appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
You know we're gonna win that cup. You know we're gonna win that Stanley Cup. Me and my Buffalo Sabres, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, it's Lucy from the Healthy Communities 2030 team. Are you looking to get healthier? Are you looking to affect the health of a loved one?
We want to help you, whether it's mental health, physical exercise, or falls prevention. We are here to support your health.
If you want to learn more, give us a call at 716-851-4052 or check out our website, creatinghealthycommunities.org.
Formerly the Wellness Institute of Greater Buffalo, a Phil Habistro production.
I want to introduce everyone today to my friend Philip Goldberg, who has written some amazing books that I have just devoured through the years. They're so great. And he has a really relevant book now that is out. That beautiful book, Spiritual Practice for Crazy Times. And I want you to tell me a little bit about this book. because you've covered through the years, and I love that you have been covering spiritual topics for over 45 years of your life.
I did as a professional writer. I've had to write about a lot of other things as well. But when I could write about relevant spiritual topics, and especially this intersection of Indian spiritual teachings and the modern world we all live in the West, that's sort of been what I've gravitated to, especially the last 10, 12 years.
What are some of the practical applications that you bring to people for these crazy times?
The premise of the book, and it's not a premise in the sense that it's speculation,
right?
But the basic point of view of the book is you will find in every spiritual tradition, in the corners of the spiritual traditions that turn us inward into our internal being. And that is that at the core of what we are, at the deep center of our existence, is what I'm calling in the book a sanctuary of peace. It's closer than our breath, nearer than our heartbeat. It's what we are. In our essence, we are spiritual beings that are already at peace, that have within us a source of contentment and of compassion and love and light. That's our essence. We are distracted by the outer things of life. We forget. We're not taught and trained properly. But the spiritual methods that work the best bring us inward to that place of perfect peace. And that is the core message of the book, and all the techniques that I describe in the book, the instructions, the guidelines, they're all meant to give us access to that, what is already our birthright, to the inner peace.
Now, you wrote a book, The Life of Yogananda. I love Yogananda. His essence is so near and dear to my heart. From the first time I set foot at Lake Shrine, I had the most profoundly powerful experiences every time I go there. And I just feel his essence. What drew you to write that book on Yogananda's life?
My book prior to The Life of Yogananda was called American Veda. And the subtitle was From Emerson and the Beatles to Yoga and Meditation, How Indian Spirituality Changed the West. So I covered 200 years of history of these teachings coming here and how it influenced so many millions of people, and in ways people don't fully appreciate. In that context, I wrote about all the gurus who came here. And Yogananda, of course, was an important one. He got a chapter of his own. When I wrote that, I came to appreciate two things: how important he was, how influential on so many lives, and two, what an interesting life he led as a human being, the human story.
When I went to Lake Shrine one time, I was looking through, the little museum that they have there.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of him and Mayor Schwab, who was a mayor from Buffalo, New York. So he actually spent
time there.
In Buffalo,
he was,
these areas.
Yes.
Towns.
He did, well, he arrived in America in Boston.
Right.
And spent the first 4 years here in Boston.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yes. And then he traveled cross country by car, seeing the United States, ended up in LA right after New Year's in 1925, and LA became his headquarters and his home for the rest of the time, and is still the headquarters of his international organization. And I found myself inspired by having written Yogananda's life, because if anybody ever exemplified staying spiritually grounded in the midst of challenges, it was him.
Well, I'm so grateful to you, Philip. And I've got to say, I got to thank you so much for coming on the show today. What a joy. It's great to see you again. It's been years.
You too. It's been a few years since you left Southern California.
Yes.
But you're doing what's right for you at the moment, aren't you?
Thank you. Yes. The deeper
And you look great. You haven't aged a day.
Oh, I love you for this and a million more reasons, Philip. Well, you too. You look amazing.
Yeah.
California is suiting you well.
Okay.
Before we started this, I was trying to talk Philip into coming back east. I was like, come on.
I'll come for a visit.
Yes, come for a visit.
When the weather is warm.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Keep up the good work. It's great to see you.
Great
Be well.
Thank you for joining us on today's adventure of passionate living. My goal in producing this show is to inspire you to fall even more deeply in love with your life, and I want to thank you sincerely for being here with me today. A special thanks to our sponsors, as you are such a vital part of our Passionate Living team. Passionate Living airs every Tuesday and Thursday on WBBZ TV at 8 p.m. and on Sunday mornings at 11. If you'd like to see a replay of today's show, you can also join us on Friday evenings for a watch party on our Passionate Living Facebook page. Also, you can view previous shows at passionateliving.com. Just remember to press the like button if you enjoy. And just a quick reminder for this week ahead, if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you can't. So remember that you can do anything that you put your heart and mind to. We'll see you soon for the next adventure in Passionate Living.